Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Tailow and Swellow, and before we start off, I want to show you guys the spreadsheet just immediately. Because there's nothing there, and that blows my mind. I figured surely there's at least one on each of them, but apparently not, so we're not getting anything from the spreadsheet today. Considering the date of this post, a certain Braviary already existed, so I imagine that nickname is probably more redirected. Like, I expect to see so many America jokes when we eventually get to Braviary. If you like the band, I would hope that you would understand that it's one word and not spaced apart. But anyway, Aerosmith is what I use for Swellow as well. It was just the first thing I thought of, and I was like, yep, that works, it fits, there you go. Like, it's nothing more to it. I don't space the words apart, because that's unnecessary, but yeah, it was just, I saw it, and that was the first thing that came to mind, and I think it's a natural fit. There you go. You can throw it onto any other flying type you want to, if you want to, but I think it works pretty well with Swellow. And right below it, Kamikaze. That could also work for just about any flying type Pokemon you want. That's one that I like, but I haven't put it on anyone, and I'm not sure who or when I will, but yeah, you could throw it onto anyone, it'll fit. So I saw LoMane on the Pokemon.net, and here's McWings as well. I guess if you want to do food-based nicknames, you know, that's always an option as well. Better options out there, like Blaziken, but if you want to, sure, Swellow for dinner. Okay, so I don't particularly care for this as a nickname idea, but I'll acknowledge it just because we talked about Aerosmith, so it's only fair. Hawkwind. Yeah, it's a different band. I recognize the name, but I am not particularly, like, a fan of theirs. I don't dislike them, I'm just not a fan. Okay, so Angry Bird, I think, could work for something that's not Swellow. The first thing that comes to mind is, like, Dodrio, because like the different personalities of its heads kind of come to mind. Hell, I guess you could say Galarian Farfetch seems kind of aggressive, so maybe him. I don't know, I'm trying to think on what birds particularly seem angry in the Pokemon universe, and those are the first two that come to mind. I'm not opposed to the idea because, you know, you could play off that, that's fine. And with Dodrio, you could call it Angry Birds because it's 3 heads. I just don't think it fits Swellow because Swellow doesn't strike me as angry at all. Swoop I wouldn't use. Windbreak I learned is apparently just a thing that actually exists in the real world. Cool. I had a windbreak growing up at my house in England and I didn't know that. I just thought it was like a hedge and that was it, but apparently it serves some sort of use. Do I care about it as a nickname? Not particularly, but if it strikes your fancy, whatever. There's definitely worse suggestions out there, like Swoop. Okay, so I've seen Ace like a lot, to where I feel like that's probably the most common name for Swellow. I don't think it's interesting even in the slightest. Partially just because it's like Ace used Aerial Ace, like that comes to mind because I know Swellow learns stat leveling up, and I feel like that's probably going to be a thing people are going to use for a while until they get like Fly or Brave Bird. I don't find it interesting at all. And then the rest of these I don't care about. Burb, there's your little joke in the same vein of like snakes being nope ropes or danger noodles or whatever. If that appeals to you, whatever. I just don't care. So I'm honestly kind of surprised. Like, I don't know what's going on with Hoenn, but I guess Hoenn's not as popular as I thought because yet again we found basically nothing for Tailow, Swellow. The only things really even worth highlighting were just I personally use Aerosmith and I think that's great, and then Kamikaze I think was good, but you know, you could apply both of those to whoever the hell you want if you want. Ace was probably just the one I saw the most, and that's it. I think Swell is pretty cool, and I think the spreadsheet having 0 suggestions is mind-blowing to me because I'm like, this is something that should have a lot of easy nicknaming potential. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult, but I guess people just don't care about it or something? I'm not sure, but if you've got any suggestions and ideas for Swellow, place them in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good, and let's try and have more than 2 suggestions. I think Swellow's pretty decent.